Okay. So if I have my, I know this doesn't go to 36, but if I start here at negative 36 and then I'm adding 6, what number am I going to stop on? See if I can. And I can draw it like this. Negative. Oh wait, there we go.
Is it negative 30?
Negative 30, yeah. So my start is here, we're adding 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we stop at negative 30. Negative 30 equals negative 3x.
Okay, so it'll be 30.
Okay, so now it says negative 30 equals negative 3 times x. So what is my next step going to be? If it says, what it says this right here, then I need to do the opposite. So what am I going to do?
Divide.
Okay. So we are dividing both sides by negative 3. These cancel out. And then what is negative 30 divided by negative 3?
We're gonna go more negative or something?
Oh, if we were like subtracting, that would be absolutely correct. Because if you were taking negative 30 and you were minusing 3, we would go more negative. So let me break that down because I said usually break it down for us. What is 30 divided by 3?
10.
10. And a negative make?
Positive.
Okay, so we got positive 10 equals x. All right, and for our reasons, I wrote them in pink to help us identify them. What did we do first?
MPOE. MPOE, and then next is APOE.
And then
DPOE. DPOE.
Right. Okay. Checking our work. Negative 9 equals negative 3 x minus 6. And then put 4 under here. And then a fraction line going. And then I meant to, okay, so now that I wrote the x, I'm gonna take that out. And we said x is 10. So I'm just showing this in another color for an extra visual. Okay. That looks better. All right, there you go, it's a little better. Okay, so we're looking at -3 times 10 minus 6 divided by 4. So what do we do first with that?
Equals
The order of operations.
Yeah.
Formerly.
Okay. So order of operations, we got GEMDAS over here. So what am I starting with? Do I want to put the group symbol over here again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be helpful. Okay. Okay. All right, so it says groups on top. Do I start with groups?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to do that. And in my group, I have multiplication and subtraction. So what do I want to start with?
Multiplication.
Okay. And what is 3 times 10?
30.
30.
Negative and a positive make?
Negative.
Okay. -9 equals negative. Oh wait, I want to put my new answer here. Okay. -6. So what I'm doing is I'm rewriting the entire problem again. Okay. Got that. Fraction line. Okay. Now my other color, it's like -30. And I'm gonna go with this because we still have our group symbol, so we'll keep that in for us. Like that maybe. Okay. Okay. So we have -30 minus 6 divided by 4. So we're still in our, are we still in our group that we're simplifying, or are we all done with that? Is the group all gone, or are we still working on the group?
Still working on the group.
Okay. And Jolene, you said that when it was like -30 minus 3, we were going more negative. So if this says -30 minus 6, what are we going to do?
Go more negative.
Okay. We're going more negative. So what is -30 minus 6? Okay. Let's see. I could do my thing again. And you guys said, yes, we're going more negative. So I'll go negative 38. Let's see. Post says Black Lives Matter. Yes, Ethan, that's what the posts say. Okay. Oops. Oh, I have to do a new one. Dang it. Sorry. Still working on this. All right. Negative 8, 7, 36. Did anyone get the answer yet? Waiting for me? All right, running out of room here. So my start is negative 30. You guys said I'm going more negative, and we're minusing 6. So minus 6. So we're going to the left. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Negative 36.
Okay. Negative 36. Okay, rewriting our problem. I have, after every step, writing the problem out. It's very important to do. Oops. Keep it in the same order here. In my other color, we said negative 36. Okay. Now I'm looking at negative 36 divided by 4. So 36 divided by 4 is
9.
9, okay? And then a negative and a positive is?
Negative. Negative.
Okay. So we have negative 9 equals negative 9. All right, do the match?
Yep.
Woohoo, I'm done. Oh, wrong thing, I didn't want that one. I was just kidding. Check mark. And we can write true. All right, so we are all done with this packet, unit 6, and I am not sending home any new packets because how many days of school are left?
6.
6. Okay. So that is it. This is page 16. So so these are X'd out. We're only doing that one problem. You will be able to take a picture and upload it to Google Classroom. We're going to sign, okay.
Okay.
So we're moving on to coefficients. Now, we have been working with coefficients for a while now. I want to make sure that we understand what that is, because after that, we are moving into combining like terms and having variables on both sides of the equation. So it's important that we understand what a coefficient is. A coefficient is the number that is in front of the variable that we're timesing the letter by. And even if there's no number in front, for example, how if it just said x minus 6 equals 10 or something like that. If there was no number in front of x, what number is always in front?
X.
Well, it would be a number and it would be invisible. Oops. Would there be a 1? Because 1 times x is x. Okay. So I have a thing on that to help us understand that. Okay. Let me start this over.
Here we'll quickly say what coefficients are. They come up a lot in algebra. First, suppose I tell you the variable x equals 2 and the variable y equals 5. Then evaluate this expression, 3x plus 4y, or click down here to review.
Okay. So, do we need to click on review? Because we haven't done two different variables. But does x match with y? Like, can we add those together, or we cannot add those together? How many people have no idea? Because we have not covered this in class very much. Okay, so we're going to review this.
Before we start evaluating anything, here's the number line, and try using it to solve for x in this equation. 5 minus x equals negative 3. And to review solving for variables like x.
You know what? I don't think that's going to help us. I was just kidding. Let me go back. I'll tell you guys. Is it waiting? It's loading. Oh, wait. But if it says x and y, we cannot add those together because they are not compatible. They have to match. The letters have to match for us to combine them. Let me try refreshing this video. Oh, I'll try hint one first. Let me start this. This is not loading properly. My apologies. Back down. Look at all these lessons, huh? Where'd it go? Here we go. Numbers in front of there.
Here we'll quickly say what coefficients are. They come up a lot in algebra. First, suppose I tell you the variable x equals 2 and the variable y equals 5. Then evaluate this expression, 3x plus 4y, or click down here to review.
Oh, you know what? And I totally just gave you guys wrong information. Okay, forget everything the teacher said because I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, teacher fails. X equals 2, y equals 5. So it gave us the answer. I was wondering why I did something a little different. Okay, let me get my pen here. All right, I'll use the text box because it looks neat. Let me lengthen this out. My apologies, you guys. I don't know what my brain was thinking. Okay, so we have 3, and x is equal to what? 2. Totally just messed that up for you guys. And y is equal to what number?
5.
5. Okay. I'm sorry I confused you guys. I was thinking, why did it do that? I watched this video too. I did the video. Okay. Equals, and then we have 3 times 2
Is 6.
is 6. Okay. So I'm gonna write it this way. And 4 times 5 is
20.
20. Okay. And then what is 6 plus 20?
26.
26. Okay, so what is our answer? 26. Okay. Okay.
Right, this equals 26. Now in this expression, the numbers 3 and 4 are coefficients. Coefficients are numbers that appear in front of variables. To be more precise, they're multiplicative factors in front of variables, which means they're numbers that you multiply variables by in expressions. So x is being multiplied by 3 and y is being multiplied by 4. So 3 and 4 are the coefficients here. Okay, so take a look at this expression here. 2a plus 7b plus 9c. What's the coefficient for the variable b in this expression?
Okay, so if coefficient is the number that is in front of the letter, what is the coefficient for b?
7.
Exactly. 7 is the coefficient for b. In this expression, b is being multiplied by 7. Next, go ahead and identify all the coefficients in this expression. 3p plus 5.2q plus 7/9 pq.
Okay, so I gotta check the box if it is a coefficient, okay? Is 3 a coefficient?
Yeah.
Okay. Is p a coefficient? The coefficient means it's the number in front of the letter. So can the
Oh,
letter, yeah, can? These are, yeah.
The coefficients, or the numbers in front of variables here, are 3, 5.2, and 7/9.
Oh,
So is p a coefficient?
no.
What about 5.2?
Yes.
What about q?
No.
What about 7/9?
Yes.
What about p?
No.
What about q?
No.
Nicely done. 3, 5.2, and 7/9 are the coefficients here. Now for the expression 2x plus y, the coefficient for x is 2. But what about y? There's no number in front of y. Whenever you have a variable by itself like this, with no number in front of it, the coefficient is actually 1, because y is the same thing as 1 times y. So let's look at the expression a plus 4b plus 2c. What's the coefficient for the variable a in this expression?
So there's no number here. What do we put for the answer?
1.
Right, the coefficient for a is 1. Now what happens when you have a minus sign in your expression, like 6x minus 3y? Well, subtracting 3y is the same thing as adding negative 3y. Click here if you want to review why that's true. So the coefficient for y is negative 3. Try another example of this. In the expression 4a minus 8b plus c, what's the coefficient for the variable b?
Okay, so it's saying when we're doing coefficients, if there's a minus number, we treat it like a negative, which can be confusing because when we box our terms, which is something we worked a lot on, so when we box our terms, I would see 3 terms. But for this rule, because it's minus, we have to include that in our number, in our coefficient. So we actually have to put this, oops, we need to put it together. So what would the coefficient for B be?
8.
8? Okay, and is it going to be positive 8 or negative 8?
Negative?
Because it said minus, so we got to include it. Oops.
Right, we're subtracting 8b here, or adding negative 8b. So the coefficient for b is negative 8. For your final challenge, take a look at this expression, 3f minus 9g minus h. What would you say is the coefficient for h? This is tricky, so feel free to ask for a hint if you need it.
All right, what number are we going to put here?
1.
Okay. Anyone need to read the hint? I see.
Sure.
Sure? Okay. Jolene says 1, and she sounded pretty confident about that. I only heard one person answer, so.
If we try to rewrite this using addition, we would have 3f plus negative 9g plus negative 1 times h. So the coefficient of h here is negative 1.
So Jolene said 1, and then our hint says
Negative.
negative 1. So that was very close. And is that tricky having to remember that they're writing it another way? We call that an equivalent expression. But understanding that a 1 goes in front is very important.
Nicely done. There's no number in front of the h, but it's the same as 1h. And subtracting 1h is the same as adding negative 1h. So the coefficient for h is negative 1. Great. So now you have some experience identifying coefficients in algebraic expressions.
Okay, so that's the video, and it says, what do you think? So is this great? Is it too easy, too hard, or is it a little confusing? Which one are we thinking?
Great.
Great? Even though when it says minus, now we want to turn it to a plus negative number?
It's confusing.
It's confusing. All right. What do you think? Having to switch it to plus a negative number is confusing. Okay. All right. So that's the lesson on this one. I understand that's a little confusing, so I have an IXL that I will be posting. Is this the right one? No, not that one. Oopsie, no, not that. Where did you go? You know what? Let me go in here. Password. Okay, it's a draft, so I will be posting it after this class. Also, I will post the link for that coefficient lesson so you can go over it again, right, on your own. So this is the IXL that goes with it. And there's two things they're saying, because it's saying identifying terms and coefficients. So remember, box your terms, box your terms, box your terms. That's what this is about. So you may need to write it. Okay. So how many terms are in this expression? Pluses and minuses go outside of the box. Yeah. And we have to read what it says. So this is asking for terms. So it's important to read this. And if you don't want to read it, it can ask the question for you.
How many terms are in this expression?
Okay, so that's something else that we can remember to do. And we said 2, 1, 2. Okay. If your computer has the ability to do the annotating function, like this is actually through Zoom. So if you had your own Zoom meeting by yourself, you could do it that way. Let me clear all my drawings. And it's saying how many terms are in this expression. So when there's a number times a letter, do they get separate boxes or one box?
One box?
Yes, one box, because when we multiply, they are, what is it called when we're timesing things together? Yeah, 4 and K are factors, so it would get one box. Okay. And one gets another box. So how many terms are in this expression?
2.
2. Okay. So do we see how drawing the boxes is very helpful?
Yeah.
I'll do another one. So how many terms are in this expression?
2.
2. Okay. Now this is saying something different, okay? What is the coefficient of the first term in this expression? Okay, so I still have to be able to identify terms, so I still want to do my boxes. So 10C gets a box and 5 gets a box. And it says the first term. So in the first box, what number is the coefficient?
10.
10. And now how many terms are in this expression?
2.
The boxes that worked out, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see if that happens again. Oh, no, not really working. Let me clear that out.
That's it.
How many terms are in this expression?
2.
Good, still 2. So it sounds like, we use boxes for a couple of them, and then it helped, us to remember. But if you need to draw boxes for every one, please do so. And look, just by this practicing, we're already up to 54. Now this little number up here is called a coefficient, okay? Now if there's I'm not a coefficient. Did I say coefficient? I didn't mean that. What did I mean to say?
Power?
A power or an exponent. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if this says C to the third power, C to the second power, and C by itself, those are all separate terms. They cannot go together. Okay. Anyways, so how many terms are in this expression?
2. Hey.
Hey.
Oh my God.
What is it?
3.
Okay. Well, if I put 3, did I read the question?
What is the coefficient of the second term in this expression?
Did it say how many terms?
No.
Is it important to read the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
7.
I would put 3 and I would have got it wrong.
7?
7? Okay.
Yes.
What is the coefficient of the first term in this expression?
S. Oh wait.
1.
Yeah, 1.
Yeah, we might put S. We have to remember there's an invisible 1, so that's tricky. There you go, got it. Okay. How many terms are in this expression?
2.
2.
How many terms are in this expression?
3.
3.
Hmm.
4.
Which of the following terms are in this expression? Select all that apply. So you might want to box your terms here to make sure that you get this correct. I'm boxing my terms. That means everything in this box needs to be in here to match. So is 2 a term?
No.
How about S to the third power?
Yes.
Yes.
What about S squared?
No.
No.
What about 2 to the R squared?
Yes.
Yes.
Was that easier to identify after we boxed our terms?
Yes.
Okay, so it's something we can remember to do when we're doing this on our own. Which of the following items are in this expression? Select all that apply.
9.
Oh, I said items, terms. 9, okay.
3. No. Yes.
Oh, no, yes.
Yeah.
3.
Yes to 4C? No? Okay.
No.
All right, so on here we got 85. This one that I did actually had a lot more terms asking. Some of the other ones had a lot more of the exponents in it, so I chose this one. But as long as we're identifying terms and coefficients, all right, and this is good practice. All right, and then the last thing I have that we can do is a Kahoot. You guys want to do? Yay! Yeah, I found it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And I might be doing some Kahoots where it said assign, so it'd be an assignment. So it would mean you do it on your own, okay? But this one, since we're having a Zoom, we're going to do it together. Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so Evelyn's not playing on her phone, but you can still answer, okay? Like not on your phone, but you could follow along.
I am a clever wallaby or whatever.
Wallaby? Do you know
Yeah.
what a wallaby is?
No.
It's like a kangaroo.
Oh.
I think they're smaller kangaroos. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's like a
Space
kangaroo.
penguin.
That's me.
Yay, Claudia.
Pigeon. All right, so we're just waiting for Ethan.
Yes. Are you gonna play, Miss Johnson?
Well, I might get too many of those right. Would that be fair? Because this is a math one. If when we do the other ones, you still want me to do it? I might get them wrong. I don't know. I feel like that's a little. I could play if I want to.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to play?
Yeah.
Okay. I play on the other one. Sometimes I don't know if it was fair, but I'll join. Give me a second.
Okay.
I didn't have it pre-set up on my phone, so I'm doing it right now. 1871096. Okay.
Miss Johnson, are you still recording? Are you gonna record for the Kahoot?
Oh yeah, for the game? Sure. Yeah.
Joyful green.
Crane, the bird.
Green.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Kind gecko. Okay. They're starting. What is a coefficient? Is it a number on its own? Is it a number that tells how many times a base is multiplied? Is it a number used to multiply a variable? Or is it a letter representing a value we don't know yet? Okay. So is the number by itself? Is it like an exponent? Is it when we have a number and a letter together? Or is it a letter all by itself? Okay. So yeah, a number used to multiply a variable. That's when the number is in front of the letter or right next to it.
Okay, let's go.
Identify the coefficients in the expression. Okay, is it 4x? Is it -3? Is it 4 and -3? Or is it 4 and 3? So the coefficients are the numbers in front. And when there's a minus, we want to include that.
Yay, I got it.
Yeah, so 4x would be the first term.
Let's stop.
Coefficient. All right. Woo, look at all these numbers. Okay. What is the coefficient of r squared? So if it's r squared, what is the number going to be? Is it 0, r, 2, or 1? Because it's r squared. There's no number in front. What's the invisible number we have to put?
Mm.
1. Yeah. So r is the variable, but the number is what we call the coefficient. And if there's no number in front, that means there's an invisible 1, just like when we put that in for our fractions. Identify the coefficients in the expression. Okay, so we're doing this again. It's the number in front. Oh, oops, that's not a, I'm circling the term. Okay, so it's the number that is in front of the letter. And if there's a minus sign, we need to include that. But an integer by itself is not a coefficient. Oh, look at that.
Yay.
Yay, I can't see how many people it is blocking it. 400%. So I couldn't trick you guys when I started circling the 4. Identify the coefficients in the expression. So the number that's in front, and then I'll include the plus too, because that way to remind us, is it going to be positive or negative? Oh, whoa, I didn't answer it, but it answered it for me. All right. Space Pigeon has, what, 4 in a row. My phone pushed the wrong button, you guys. Identify the coefficients in the expression. So even though the numbers are bigger, do we do the same format? Okay. And you can circle them like this too if you want.
I can't see anything.
There's 124 and 39, 124 and negative 39, 124x, and then negative 39.
Everything depends on that.
Space Pigeon got 5 in a row. Identify the coefficients in the expression. So the number in front of the letter, and if it's a plus or minus sign, we include that so we know if it's positive or negative. A 100%? All right. What is the coefficient of 10x squared? Is it 1, 10, 10x, or 100?
Yay.
Yeah. So on the top it said 10x. So it gave us the number, so we did not have to put 1, which can be confusing because the question was at the top of the page. Joyful Crane, 3 in a row. A variable by itself is said to have a coefficient of 1. Is that true or false? Okay. So if it is x by itself and there's nothing in front, do we put a 1 there? So is that true or false?
Yes.
It's true. And they try to trick us because they put false here. A lot of times it's true. Did that trip anybody up? That can be tricky. Clever Wallaby has the highest answer streak of 6.
That's me.
Woohoo! Identify the coefficients in the expression. Oh, that's not true. We only have like 20 or 30 seconds on here. So the coefficients in the expression, this time I'm not going to circle it. So what is it going to be? I'm going to try without doing the circle thing for you. See how we do with that. Oh, everybody got it. You guys don't need me circling it.
No.
You guys are killing it. Go, Clever Wallaby. Identify the coefficients in the expression. Okay? So we have a lot of things here. Let's see if we can do it without the circles. Oh, you guys are way faster than me. I think I'm the last one to answer. Space Pigeon, back with 3 in a row. Identify the coefficients in the expression. Wait, where's the expression? Is there an expression? I don't see
Miss
it.
Johnson?
Yes. Do we have to guess? There's no problem on here. Your internet connection is unstable. Now my thing. I don't know. Do we have to guess? Oh, there it goes. On the last second, it just popped up. Anyone just guess? Sorry if we ran out of time.
Oh, 93.
Because 2 was a number all by itself. But we only had half a second to look at it, huh? 2 seconds before it timed out. Identify the coefficients in the expression. Okay. So if a number has no letter, it is not a coefficient.
Yay. Oh.
Yeah. So 45x. 45 is a coefficient, but 12 is an integer, right? A number by itself, whether it's positive or negative, is called an integer.
That's me.
That's you.
How you decide? They can help us decide, diba? Rather than just us. Kasi sa ngayon, parang gusto mo lang, problemahin lang.
All right.
Without even opening.
We choice for cream again.
Well, I told you, you know, and the ones I got wrong wasn't my fault. Like I pushed the thing timed out or something.
That's you, Miss Johnson, I guess.
I told you it's not fair when the teacher plays the math ones. I'll play the other ones. Okay?
Well, you did a good job, though.
Thank you.
Good.
I think overall we did really well because this is the very first time we went over this. And I think what I'm going to do for the other students is I'm going to try the teaching mode. So even if you're watching this at home and you didn't play with us today, you will still have a chance to do it on your own to see how you do. Okay, I think that's very important to do. I'm going to stop the recording.